Hi guys, so this is my first time doing this, so I'm going to show you how I use the points that I calculate and for the week, and we're going to use Apple as an example. So I had calculated these levels for the week for Apple, so they were 192.50, 194, 197, 198, 200, it's right there, and then I had a breakout at 201, and then the level up from there was 203 from the breakout. So I entered Apple at let's see what day this was. Yeah, this was Monday. So Apple dipped a tad bit below my point of 197. I think at the open, but it was still above this point below it, and this is the median line on the center of gravity, which is in an uptrend. So I knew that all these points were dip buyable on Apple. Uh, so I entered this trade. I stayed long, and with the hopes that it would break above 201. So Tuesday, as you can see, it did break below 200, but just barely. So when it broke above 201 on Tuesday, I actually added to my position. I bought another contract. So I sold one when it got to two, when I saw that it could not get above 203. And so I'm still writing one contract, and I'm willing to stay in that contract as long as it's above 190. I think I have 197. Yeah, 197. So as long as Apple's still above that, I'm still going to stay in this trade. So I try to always have my entry, exit, and stop planned in advance. I calculate these levels on the weekend, and I go ahead and put them on my chart, and then I also set an alert at each level so that if I'm busy or something, then it will text me, and I know what to do at each level. Now, obviously you need to assess your trade at each level. So if you already have your entry, exit, and stop planned in advance, you can kind of plan ahead, and so it won't throw you off. Let's say if Apple dips a little bit, so I enter at a point. I do not enter in between points because you have no guarantee or no safety of what the stock will do if you enter in between a point. So in between points, some people call them no man's land. So that's why I like to already have my levels calculated in advance and then enter the trade, at a level. If I'm able to watch it, then I can obviously watch it on the chart, but if I can't watch it, I have the alert set up, and it will text me to let me know that Apple, for example, is at one of my levels. But this is how I use the levels that I calculate. So as long as first of all, you need to know, is your stock in an uptrend or is it in a downtrend? And this median line for me on the center of gravity is a huge indicator of what the stock, where the stock is headed, which direction it's headed in. Now, obviously, if something happens, to Apple, then some major headline event or something, it would change the trajectory of the stock. But it would still, in theory, come down and hit these levels on its downward trajectory as well. But that's how I use the points that I calculate, I enter at a point, and you can stay in the trade as long as it's above the point where you entered. So I usually, in this case, entered the trade at 197. I traded it to 198. I watched it. I'm sorry. Yeah, so I watched it, and then I kept raising my stop at each of these levels. And then, so as you can see, it couldn't get above 203, so it came back down, and it tested 200 and then 198 before going back up. So it's kind of stuck in this little range right now, between 198 and 201 basically. So I'll just have to wait and see, if it's where it's going. Its overall trend is still up, but at this point, I'm still in one contract, but I would not add to that position until Apple gets above 201 with some volume. My stop is at 197. So as long as Apple is still above 197, I will still stay in that trade. However, I will not add to my position until it breaks back above 201. So I hope that helps you guys understand how I use the points. And if you have any questions, obviously feel free to message me. And also, I will say this. I love the flow at Blackbox. So anytime I am either already in a trade or whether I enter a trade at one of my levels, if there's flow, it's like triple must trade. So that flow cannot be beat. I mean, it just you've got to trust the flow. So but yeah, so I obviously utilize the flow a lot as well. So if you guys have any questions, definitely let me know. All right, hope you enjoy. Thanks.